What if the conscience you believe is yours was never only yours? The voice that tells you right from wrong, sacred from forbiddance, it feels private. But what if it is not yours at all, but a silent chorus that belongs to everyone? By the end of this video, you will see why Durkheim believed conscience is not an individual possession, but a collective force shaping us more than we realize. Emil Durkheim called this the collective conscience. It is the sum of beliefs, values, and emotions that societies hold in common. It is invisible but powerful, silent but decisive. We think conscience lives in our chest and our private thoughts. Durkheim argued it lives outside us, in the air we breathe, in the rituals we perform, and the laws that bind us. He described it through what he called social facts, ways of acting, thinking, and feeling that exist beyond the individual, external, coercive, independent of our will. Like grammar and language, you did not invent it. You were born into it. If you break it, the punishment comes: exclusion, misunderstanding, ridicule. That is the mark of the collective conscience. It constrains without asking. Conscience is not only yours, it is ours. Durkheim saw this most clearly in rituals. In the elementary forms of religious life, he described tribes gathering to dance, chant, and worship. In these ceremonies, people no longer felt like isolated beings. Their bodies synchronized. Their emotions surged together. Durkheim called it collective effervescence. It is the moment when the crowd becomes more than the sum of its parts. Energy rises. Symbols become sacred. And long after the drums fall silent, what remains is a sense of duty, morality, and belonging. The ritual ends, but the conscience endures. This force is not confined to ancient tribes. Think of a stadium roaring one name. A concert where strangers move as if one body. A hashtag repeated by millions. Each time, the crowd generates a current larger than any single voice. Each time, the collective conscience is renewed. Durkheim's insight is unsettling. We imagine our moral compass as self-made, as if we alone decide what is right or wrong. But morality is not crafted in solitude. It is forged in gatherings, in institutions, in rituals that outlive us. The conscience we call mine is an echo of a course older and stronger than the self. Conscience is not only yours, it is ours, and yet this raises a question. If conscience is collective, what happens when the course fractures? When no single faith, no single rhythm, no single drumbeat holds us together? Does the conscience dissolve into silence? Or does it take on new forms, subtle but no less binding? Conscience is not only yours, it is ours. If conscience is collective, then what happens when the chorus fractures? When no single drumbeat holds us together? That is where we go next. By the end of this section, you will see why Durkheim believed the collective conscience never vanishes. It only shifts form. Durkheim described two great patterns of social life, two ways the silent chorus of conscience sings. In small, traditional communities, life is uniform, predictable. Durkheim called this mechanical solidarity. Here, conscience is vast and powerful. It covers everything. Religion, morals, customs, even daily routines. All shared, all unquestioned. The individual is almost absorbed into the group. To disobey is not just to break a rule. It is to betray belonging itself, and punishment is harsh. The group defends itself like a body against infection. One drumbeat, one rhythm. Everyone marched to it. Conscience is not only yours, it is ours. But modern life could not remain this way. As populations expanded, as work specialized, as cultures grew more diverse, the old uniformity faded. Durkheim called this organic solidarity. Now the collective conscience narrows. It no longer dictates every step. It draws boundaries instead of scripts. It creates the framework while individuals fill in the details. Think of an orchestra. Each instrument plays its own melody. No two sounds are alike, yet together they form one music. Not one drum beat now, but a symphony, many voices, one harmony. The state becomes the organ of this conscience, not just law or punishment, but the symbolic center that expresses what society holds sacred. It ensures strangers can still live under one roof. It repairs trust when conflict appears. Punishment shifts too, no longer vengeance. Now restitution. The goal is not to destroy the offender. It is to mend the torn fabric. The chorus has not gone silent. It has learned to sing in many voices. Conscience is not only yours, it is ours. And yet harmony is fragile. If the orchestra loses its balance, dissonance spreads, values splinter, norms weaken. Trust dissolves. The rhythm falters, the music stumbles. We see shadows of this already, conflicting truths, fragmented communities. A flood of voices without a rhythm to hold them. Conscience is not only yours, it is ours. But if the ours itself begins to crumble, what remains? That is where we go next. Durkheim warned of a hidden danger, not in silence, but in noise. He called it anomie. Anomie is not the absence of rules. It is the multiplication of rules that fail to hold. It is not the absence of desire. It is desire without horizon. Anomie is noise. Rules multiply, but none hold. Desires rise, but no horizon guides them. Direction dissolves, meaning thins. Durkheim saw this in the shock of crisis. When fortunes collapsed, when familiar anchors vanished, when the compass of shared norms shattered, suicide rates rose. Not only from hunger, but from disorientation. From the absence of boundaries that once steadied the self. Conscience is not only yours, it is ours. And when the ours fractures, the self drifts. Think of today, the endless scroll. A headline clashing with the next. A voice drowning in another voice. Algorithms amplify outrage. The chorus breaks, only fragments remain. We touch our phones thousands of times a day. Each tap, another spark. Each scroll, another wave of noise. But where is the melody? What song holds it together? The result is exhaustion. Anxiety without anchor. Belonging without depth. And yet, beneath the noise, we keep searching for harmony. Durkheim did not leave us in despair. He believed the collective conscience never vanishes. It only shifts, it adapts. It finds new forms, sometimes in religion, sometimes in law, sometimes in rituals of nation or digital tribes. Sacredness does not disappear. It migrates, from the altar to the screen, from the temple to the timeline, from the hymn to the hashtag. And this is the paradox. The more we believe conscience is private, the more it is shaped by the invisible chorus. Conscience is not only yours, it is ours. Awakening, then, is not escape from the crowd. It is awareness of the crowd within you, of the unspoken rules humming in your thoughts, of the collective voice disguised as your private conscience. Freedom does not mean silence. It means listening with new ears, hearing the chorus, questioning it, choosing when to follow, choosing when to resist. Awakening is not arrival. It is trembling, trembling before the silent power that binds us. Trembling at the realization that you were never only one voice. You were always part of the chorus, and in hearing it, freedom begins. Conscience is not only yours, it is ours. At the start I asked, what if your conscience was never only yours? Now you see, it is not. It never was. Awakening is not arrival, it is trembling. And in trembling, we hear it. The chorus behind the self. You were never alone. You were always part of something greater. So pause, breathe, and if this touched you, write in the comments, I hear the chorus. Let it be your reminder. Let it be our practice.